What is good, guys? Thank you guys for joining us back here on the Filthy Casual Podcast. And we have one of our boys with us today, the Pagan Psychopath, Sandson. So you guys see the title of the show. It is Your Perfect Nightmare, and that is exactly who this guy is. He is your perfect nightmare. Me being the Bold City Beast, I've been itching for somebody to kind of match my fury, and of course, my homie Sandson. He is definitely one of the guys that you guys need to know and on the come up. But I'm going to talk about a couple of things with him today. Queenie.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm here.
We know. So like, how long we know? Like, you've known him longer than I have. How long collectively have we known Sandson?
Oh man, I want to say more than 5 years.
Yeah, I've known him for
If it's longer, let us know. I think it's been about 5 years plus.
Oh man, I think he's frozen right now.
Whoa.
It's been a minute.
I wish you could see this. Go ahead and go ahead and just turn off your camera and turn it back on because it has you glitched out waiting. It's so funny. There we go.
Hopefully that looks good. Hopefully that was a good shot.
It's okay. It's okay. Oh Jesus.
Oh, it's worse. It keeps glitching on you.
It's worse. God damn it.
It's fine. It's fine.
Good.
Oh! I think we got him. I think we got him.
All right, cool.
All right. So yeah. So tell the listeners a little bit about yourself, the ones who don't know.
So I'm older than shit in wrestling years. No, I'm kidding. I didn't even ask if I could swear on this thing.
It's fine. We swear all the time.
Yes, we do.
So I've been in the wrestling industry, give or take, about a little more than 5 years, because about the time I started working with USWA in Jacksonville, Cam was there as well, doing commentary and write-ups and things like that as a journalist. It's kind of how I wanted to break into the industry. And then as far as working goes, it's kind of like a sappy story almost.
Oh, okay.
Because it kind of like, so I grew up during the Monday Night Wars. And like I was raised in Jacksonville, so I was really big Monday Night War. I was a big WCW guy. So when for my 10th birthday, my mom took me to Nitro because my birthday fell on Monday.
Oh, nice.
I think it was Goldberg's like 116th win or some shit like that.
Yep, that sounds about right.
And I was a huge Goldberg mark, like just huge. Him and Sting were my guys.
Around that time, I think Sting was like NWO by that time that Goldberg was making his tear.
Wolfpack?
Yeah,
right.
Wolfpack.
So yeah, that would have been like 99. So it would have been, he would have still been, he'd have transitioned to Wolfpack Sting by then.
Yeah.
But so it was really my mom that would take me to all these wrestling events and stuff when I was growing up. Well, I had always kind of wanted to be a wrestler, but by the time I got to an age where I realized what I was doing as an adult, I felt I might have been a little too old to start training.
Oh, wow.
So a couple of years ago when my mom passed, I didn't really have any kind of direction. So I moved out to Panama City to be with my girlfriend's family. And they had like a promotion out here that also did training. And when I tell you like backyarder, I was legitimately training in a 16 by 16 foot ring in some guy's backyard.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Work named Dandy Jack. It was,
okay.
Oh my,
You've never knew that. I like shout out, like I've never knew this story, guys. So this is all new for me.
Dandy Jack.
Yeah. And I got my first wrestling match about 4 months after I started training with the promotion that I'm actually going to wrestle for tomorrow, called New Heights Wrestling out here in the Panhandle.
Okay.
And man, I the first bump I took, I immediately fell in love. Like it was just kind of a, from there. And then when the whole pandemic and everything hit, so during that whole first year I was here, my girlfriend was living up in Alaska.
Oh,
she was doing an internship up there for the Forest Service. And while she was up there, I was just kind of piddling around here in Panama City, doing the training, working shows, all that kind of stuff. And she came back March of 2020 so that she didn't get stuck up in Alaska.
Smart.
Yeah, that probably was the best move right there.
During the pandemic. But when she got down here, she thought she was only going to be here for 2 or 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the job she was supposed to take in the summer up there got canceled, so she was stuck here. So she figured while she was stuck here, she'd go to paramedic school. So for the last year, she's been in paramedic school. And it just so happened that I was doing more shows. She was coming to the shows. She was seeing how kind of important it was to me. And I had thought about, while she's in paramedic school, why don't I go to like Orlando? Because my sister lives in Orlando, and go like live with her for a couple of months and train at the I guess they call it the 2D Academy now because it's just Devon.
Oh yeah.
But
I think isn't that Pro Visions now? All right, Pro Division. Pro
there's Pro Wrestling 2.0 down there too.
I know Pro Wrestling 2.0. And
Devon has its own school now.
Yeah. But I'm trying to think. They wrestle out of something else. But yeah, I know exactly what school you're talking about. We got a couple friends out in that school too.
Mm-hmm. Right, and I've got some extended family up in Clarksville, Tennessee, and I think like Crimson and somebody else run like an 8-week class out of somewhere in Clarksville.
Yeah, Crimson. He's like a deputy mayor or something like that down here in Florida. So yeah, he definitely.
That's Matt Morgan.
Oh, that's Matt Morgan. Yeah, Matt Morgan. The
Matt
deputy
Morgan.
mayor. Yeah.
He's a speaker now.
It's funny. He's the deputy mayor of Longwood, Florida, which is actually the city outside of Orlando that my sister lives in.
Oh wow!
So that was she had no idea. She didn't care. But I was gonna go up there and stay with family and maybe train there. But then I kind of had heard about the One Fall Academy. The One Fall Power Factory is what QT called it before Cody got involved.
Yeah.
And I had initially sent them an email, and when I sent them an email, it was like during their first camp, so I think it probably would have been like October, November last year.
Okay.
And they had already had people kind of set for their second camp, which was the one that was past January.
Yeah. And they did. Yeah, I watched the second showcase for sure.
There's a couple of stars in there. Trip Jordy's a cool guy. Austin Creed's he's a big motherfucker. the man looks big on TV, but the man is massive.
Yeah, in real life.
He's he was like a shoot bodyguard for
nice.
Yeah, for like a bunch of people. Julia Hart, who you're seeing on TV now. Oh God, what's her name? Angelica Risk. She's been on Dark a couple of times recently.
Okay.
Question.
They were all training there. They were real cool guys.
Yeah.
Question. What about Dylan McQueen? He's still there?
Dylan McQueen is. Let me tell you something about Dylan McQueen.
Dude.
Dylan McQueen, he is a fucking trip. I love that guy.
I love him. I love Dylan.
love that guy.
So much.
If there was a contest of whose shirts got worn more by the other wrestlers at the factory, it was Dylan McQueen's shirt. The Zaddy shirt that you see.
Yeah. So while we're on that, because like I said, we wanted to dive into one, how you got into the Nightmare Factory. You're kind of giving us a little bit of that, but also your time or your experience with the Nightmare Factory, kind of for people who listen and who want to get into wrestling schools or want to get into those high level schools or so. What do they have to expect, or what do you think that you could give them? Okay, this is what you're going to encounter. Right.
So to kind of end my previous thought, to segue into this thought. 3 or 4 days before they started the second camp, I got a text message from Carolyn Fazio, who is QT's wife, but she's also the manager and nutritionist at the factory.
Okay,
and she texted me and was like, "Hey, we had a couple of people drop. Do you want to join the second camp?" And I thought about it for a second, but it was like 3 days beforehand. That's an awful short time, kind of. And I had shoulder surgery to repair a slap tear and a bicep tendonitis in August of that year. So I wasn't technically going to be cleared until like a month into that camp.
Oh, yeah.
So I just asked her, I was like, can I do the next camp that's in April? And she was like, sure. And she's like, text me about March 1st, and we'll get you all the details. And sure enough, I texted her back March 1st, got emailed all the details. About midway through March, she sent a group text out to everybody, and we all got acclimated with each other. And I met 3 or 4 guys that I ended up rooming with the entire time I was up there.
Okay.
It was really cool because it was like me from Florida, my tag partner in that match, Coach Young.
Yeah.
Kid is 20 years old and is he is a shoot junior varsity football coach. Like, that was not a work. That kid is a legitimate JV football, an undefeated JV football coach, actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah, man.
And then it was right. So it was me, him, Silver Fox, the manager, and then he was also in the Battle Royale.
Oh yeah, I saw him. Great gimmick.
Right, and Canada.
Oh, okay.
Was wrestling as Raiden.
Oh, okay.
The guy under the mask. Yeah. He's Vancouver, so it was like Southerners, because Coach Young's from Virginia.
Oh, okay.
And then so like North Carolina, or South Carolina, which he'll let me know later, I'm sure. Southerner, West Canadian. So
it happens, man.
Yeah, and he was apparently the first. Cole was his name, but he was apparently the first guy that came from out of country.
Oh wow, that's dope.
Okay.
Do the camp. But you can expect kind of QT made it in a way where it really was like pro wrestling Disneyland.
Oh wow, okay.
To be so, like, you're gonna do your conditioning, because the one of the reasons I chose the Nightmare Factory over any other place was because you're not just gonna have in-ring work. Like, Monday through Thursday, you come in at 5 p.m. You're working 2 hours in the ring, and then you got like a little half-hour break. Sometimes you'll go over, but you got like a little half-hour break, and then from 7:30 to 9:30, you're in the gym with Coach Ian I'm gonna butcher this. Childress.
Okay.
Childress, great guy.
Yeah.
Doing like strength and conditioning. So we were doing lifts. We were, working out basically. So it was insane. My body hated me for like the first month.
Oh, I bet.
But then, yeah, and I mean, you're immediately in the ring doing cardio stuff like first or second day. And you're learning to take bumps, you're learning to run ropes. Unfortunately, one of the bummers for me, being a WCW guy back in the 90s, is the first 2 camps, Ray Lloyd, Coach Glacier, was there the entire time for the first 2 camps. Well, he was only there for like the first 2 weeks with us, and then he was there for another week there at the end because he had to have hip surgery.
Oh man, okay.
Actually, so that was kind of a bummer, because as a martial artist and as a pro wrestler that grew up in the 90s, I was kind of looking forward to it.
You were ready to train with Glacier.
I mean, Cody Rhodes, that's fantastic. QT Marshall's, in my opinion, probably
I was going to ask that. Like, how often are QT and Cody there? Because I know they work AEW every week, and they also have their other obligations. Like, how often are they really like there now? Right.
So, I can't really speak for the other camps, but during my camp, Brandy was in her 3rd trimester.
Okay.
So, and she ended up having her baby like the week before our final week. So, he made it a point to be there at least once a week.
Oh wow, that's okay. That's good. Like I said, because he does a lot.
Yeah, he's busy.
Right. And there were some weeks where he wouldn't be there a week, but he'd make up for it like the next week or the week after, and he'd be there 2 or 3 days that week.
Okay.
So he's a presence there. Like he thoroughly enjoys teaching. So he's there as much as he possibly can. QT was there a little more. He was there 2 or 3 times a week. And then they have a lot of other coaches there. Like there's Luke Sampson that's there. There's Alan Angel was one of our coaches there. Baron Black was one of the coaches there.
Okay.
Preston Vance
Yeah.
was one of the coaches there. I mean, it was insane. Like it's kind of a weird segue, but he'll bring in guest speakers every now and then. And one of the guest speakers he brought in was Arn Anderson.
Oh, wow.
And it just kind of happened that Arn Anderson was there with his son Brock. And so they have 4 rings there. I don't know if you've ever seen it. There's 4 rings there. There's a 20-footer and then there's 3 18-footers.
Okay.
And it was very hard standing on the apron of that 20-footer looking at QT while he's trying to teach us things, while Arn Anderson is behind me in one of the other rings in his wrestling boots.
That's crazy.
Rolling around with his son.
Oh my god.
That's so cool.
Oh my god.
I'm literally standing like this.
That's so
and if
cool.
you're QT, I'm looking at you going,
yeah, bro.
I'm sorry. QT would have been upset with me that day, bro.
Yeah, bro.
He would have been upset with me that day.
bro, QT, and I think it was funny too, because if you were watching him, QT's sitting there and he's teaching you something, and then you could see his eyes kind of go up like this, and he's looking behind us into the ring, like he was.
Yeah, he's looking past you guys.
Watching. Yeah, he was watching Arn Anderson just as much as the rest of us wanted to.
Yeah.
But he's so good at coaching that he could multitask like that. Like he could sit there and take glances at what Arn Anderson is doing and still pay attention to what's going on here. Like the man, he used the gimmick of the God's gift of wrestling, and like that's not a gimmick. Like he doesn't get nearly enough credit as he should. Like the man,
agreed.
No, I
agree too.
Really, he's a great wrestler. And he'll probably kill me for saying this, but he's an even better coach, I think, because and the dynamic between him and Cody is really interesting too, as far as coaches go, because before QT turned on Cody, it was almost like Cody's very much positive reinforcement.
Oh wow!
Whereas QT, he's not going to jump down your throat or yell at you or anything like that, but if something sucks, he's going to tell you.
He's going to let you know, yeah.
Right.
Good.
So
you need that. You need that though. You need that.
Most definitely.
Right. But watching those two together is really great. And then of course you got the names that kind of passed through there while they were training was kind of cool too. So
yeah.
It was, for me, it was worth every dime.
Okay.
So,
yeah. So here's my question. Because I want to save the bigger questions that we have, like, for the end. So, like, how, like, what, now that you've gone through the Nightmare Factory, you've graduated and everything, where does that put you? Like, are you feeling like a boost in bookings, or what comes with getting out of the Nightmare Factory? Is it like, it's like the New Age dungeon, or like what's up?
So I've only heard stories of the dungeon. So
trust me,
I don't think it's anywhere near as demoralizing.
That's why I laughed, bro.
Right, I don't think it's anywhere near as like cutthroat as the dungeon is said to have been.
Okay, that's
but as
good.
Far,
at least.
like,
yeah, that's good.
I think the common misconception that people get about the Nightmare Factory is that it's this like NXT version.
Yeah, it's AEW development straight to dark.
Right, and that is not what it is at all.
Okay.
Like one of the things that QT was very adamant about when Cody joined on, because like I said, it used to be the One Fall Power Factory, which was kind of an homage to where QT trained, which was the Monster Factory.
Oh, okay. I love a good factory, like when like the factory theme for wrestling schools.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And he but he wanted to, one of the agreements is we can call it the Nightmare Factory and all that kind of stuff, but it's not going to have any professional connection with AEW.
Okay, so it's just.
So I mean,
yeah.
I mean, with Cody being an EVP, is he going to be a little bit more like, oh, we need somebody? Well, I trained this person over here. Like, of course there's going to be that, what's the word I'm looking for here? That little added something.
advantage.
But as far as
yeah.
it's not a, it's a wrestling school.
Okay.
It's one of the. I mean, it's one of the best wrestling schools in the country, in my opinion. But I might be biased.
Yeah, hold on, hit your camera real quick.
Oh God.
Because I want to make sure people are seeing you. Because like we're doing this,
Right.
we're doing this on video. So like
talk
I want
with
to
my
make sure
hands.
people, nice little dance you were doing there. But that is good. I enjoy when people are able to clear up those misnomers and those, like I said, misconceptions of like, oh, this is just Cody's little like NXT, or this is just a way that people get on the dark. Like no. Like you still are working to get your spot in the industry. So
That's honestly something I actually wanted to know. I'm glad you let me know that. It's just I thought it was an NXT kind of thing, but I'm glad he said it's not no connection into AEW, which is good.
Yeah.
So you gotta
Right,
work your way
right.
into that.
Yeah.
That's good.
You gotta
Right.
still prove your chops, earn your dues. So that's definitely dope.
Exactly.
So,
Right.
Question: Do you get anything at the end of the training? Do you get like a certificate at least?
I got a really cool jacket.
oh, nice.
Oh, that's cool. You got the Nightmare
Like-
Family jacket?
Yep. Yeah.
Oh,
It's
Okay.
It's pretty sick.
Okay.
Uh,
Hit the camera.
I wish I lived in one. I wish I lived in one of those areas where it got cold more often.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, that's the thing I would hate.
Like I can't wear it in Florida.
Well, hopefully you'll be traveling a lot more. You'll be able to
Right,
get the use out of that Nightmare Family jacket. So
Right.
next, like what are so we ask this to like all the wrestlers that come on to the show, because it's something that we always think about. What is the hardest part of the ring for you? Like we are always told the apron is the hardest part of the ring, but what's the hardest part for you? Like personally.
Like as far as what?
Whatever you want to do.
Yeah, whatever you want to be. Because like we talked with Enzo, he was like literally learning as I went. We talked to Colt. He was like the travel. I've talked to a couple other guys. Like I said, for me and him, for me personally, it's like it's the hardest part of the ring is like the traveling back and forth, and because we are on the road, we haven't even started flying or anything yet. I'm the one who drives like everywhere. So yeah.
And I'm always in the back seat.
He's always in the back seat.
That's because he's a prima donna.
He is.
See, you get it.
He's driven.
You get it.
He's driven one time when
it's-
I was
it's
literally
not
about
just
to
a gimmick.
pass out at the wheel.
I'll offer my services if needed.
Yeah. So yeah. But for you, what's the hardest part of the ring for you?
God, I like all of it so much that it's not really like this is a dream job for me. So
Yeah,
it's like
that's a lovely place to be though.
doing all of this is. So I think the bumps suck. Like I think this body's 32 years old. Like and luckily I'm like you guys. I'm bigger, so I don't really have to do a whole lot of lucha stuff. But
Flippy stuff.
but I mean the traveling kind of sucks when there's nobody else riding with you. I think it's a little better when you got a car full of people.
Yeah.
The traveling sucks. The being away from the family.
Yeah.
I lucked out. My girlfriend was in the Navy.
Oh
So
yeah.
like
Definitely.
we're kind of used to that. Okay, we're not gonna be there together, and then we'll get back once
I
we're
got
back.
you. I got you.
It's a matter. I lucked out.
Yeah,
So I
it
don't
really
have
yeah.
all-
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
But-
so before we let you go, we definitely got to let them know
Right.
where they can find your merch and where they can, like say, get up on your clips and everything like that. Go ahead and plug your merch, plug everything that you want people to see about this Pagan Psychopath.
Right. So you can find me on Facebook. Just look up Chris Sandson. I'm on there. Twitter, it's at Pagan Psycho.
Okay.
Instagram, it's Sandson the Heathen.
Mm-hmm.
I've got shirts on ProWrestlingTees.com. But then my girl also likes to make a bunch of other stuff, so you'll have to come to an actual show to get those.
Hey,
Yes.
I'll definitely be
like
down with that.
Yes.
headbands and cups and anything
man.
she could stick my logo on, she made. So
Okay.
it's-
Definitely gotta get that
I've got some
exclusive.
merch now. Got some merch, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Most definitely.
All right. So yeah, for sure. You guys also go out and check out the Nightmare Factory Showcase number 3. He is in a tag team match.
We're about 2,000. Sorry, last thing. We're about 2,000 views away from being the most viewed.
Go support.
Showcase.
Go support.
And we're not even
Showcase
too
number 3
into
cam.
Go watch it twice.
Yeah, go watch it more than once, man.
Watch it all of the times.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. You guys can definitely check him out on that showcase. Also, like I said, hit him up on all of his socials. He will be available to get you guys info on all of his events and his merchandise. Go to that ProWrestlingTees.com for his page. We'll link it down in the description below for sure. You got anything you want to say to him before we let him out there?
Well, I guess I can say something.
Say something.
So I got a question actually. Chris.
Oh, here we go.
No. I just want to know.
Come on.
Is there anything?
Come on.
Is there any tweaks? No, this is an honest question. I just want to ask you. Is there any tweaks to your gimmick or to your character that you would like to do?
I think I just want it to kind of evolve as I do. I think that's kind of what any wrestler wants to do.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's they say the best gimmicks are basically just you turned up to 11.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm still trying to fine tune that volume kind of thing.
Okay, for sure.
So it's just a matter of finding those right niches and those right ad libs and all that kind of stuff. So to kind of bring it to the forefront.
Like I've learned that like the best catchphrases come from like just natural moments, because I forget. I don't even remember when I started Where's My Applause, but every time I go out now I get in there, where's my applause?
Here you go.
I don't hear you clapping. Like I love it.
Right.
I really want to see you go. Are you coming to Florida anytime soon to
work?
Yeah.
That side I don't know yet. There might be some things in the works here soon. But I will be there, as far as I know, commentary-wise, for USWA in October. I think it's October 9th.
All right, dope.
But we'll have to get up when I'm there for sure.
Oh, yeah, we'll definitely link up, man, for sure. I know for sure that I can't wait till we're able to work together and I can punch you in the face.
Right.
Like, it's been a long time coming. We haven't been able to punch each other in the face. So, yeah.
Hey, man, nice. QT is one of the best strikers in the world, man. He taught us well. So
I think I'll be ready to take it. So yeah.
I got you, man.
All right, man. Thank you so very much for joining us here. Okay, guys, again, all the links in the description below. Go ahead and check out our homie Chris.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Y'all have a good one. I'm gonna go eat some Chinese food with my girlfriend.
All right, man.